All right, was this Super Bowl memorable? And if so, why was it memorable? Marvin, I'll start with you.
It was memorable, and that's because of the spanking that happened.
Okay. So the domination is what's going to stand out.
Yes.
Okay. Todd?
Memorable because seeing Patrick Mahomes flustered and not being able to figure out a way to get through the Eagles and do what he normally does was shocking to me.
Yeah, but we've seen that before against Tampa Bay. Same thing. You saw him with an average offensive line, and he had an average performance. Paul, memorable Super Bowl, and if so, why?
More so the Chiefs side coming close to history, and you may never get it again for a three-peat. Like the 19-0 Patriots coming close to history, that was the story the next day more than the Giants winning.
Seton, what about you? Memorable Super Bowl, and if so, why?
I don't know if it is that memorable from the Chiefs' standpoint. I think what Patrick Mahomes does next year will determine how memorable this year is in a way. I don't know if this one stands the test of time. It's like, I remember exactly where I was when that game happened. I don't know that that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I guess my original thought was I'll remember it because Jalen Hurts was once again the better quarterback in a Super Bowl matchup with Patrick Mahomes. He played better.
Yeah.
You go back to the first Super Bowl when he had the fumble, but other than that, he played unbelievable. And it's strange that he seems to be big in big games, but the regular season, it just doesn't seem like they let him, as he said, take off the straitjacket there. But we'll get to your phone calls coming up. Poll question for hour one is going to be what, Seton?
Yeah, we got one here from Paul. It's off this topic. The Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl was memorable for the Eagles' defensive dominance, the Chiefs' no-show, or the three-peat not happening, or it wasn't memorable.
I'm going to say the three-peat. I would say that probably is what will resonate with us 10 or 15 years from now. We'll probably talk about that. Now, depends on what happens with Mahomes. Is he going to have a 10-year stretch where he doesn't go to a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl? Brady didn't win a Super Bowl. He went to a couple of them. But that's amazing. And his stats in that 10-year window are Hall of Fame-like. So he had Hall of Fame. He's had 3 Hall of Fame careers. Patrick Mahomes has 1 Hall of Fame career right now. Now we'll see what he does over the next 10 years. How long does Andy Reid coach? Kelsey, how long is he going to hold on? They've been unbelievable at the plug and play. This is what the Patriots did. They mastered it. Kansas City's trying to emulate that. But to be able to do that over a 10, 15-year period, that will be really, really, really difficult. But their front office has been great. They have done well drafting at the bottom part of the first round, and you still have Mahomes there. But I think they're going to need – it's the offensive line again. After they got blown out by Tampa in the Super Bowl, they had to reinforce that offensive line. But with injuries, you got guys playing out of position, and it showed. That Eagles defensive line was awesome. And there was only one household name. And even then, you might not consider Jalen Carter a household name. You should in NFL circles. But even that defense, Cooper DeJean, okay. There's a novelty, a white defensive back. And then I think he was Defensive Player of the Year in Iowa. And Josh Sweat. Bond. There were a lot of people who liked him for Defensive Player of the Year. So you have this defense where you're like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden you watch them as a unit. So it's not the individuals as much as it was just the unit there that played unbelievable, played great. But I don't know if, it's not like the Steel Curtain or the Ravens when, they had Ray Lewis. But Jalen Carter, the way he plays, how he plays, that's the second coming of a larger Aaron Donald. And boy, is that bad news for everybody else. I love pressure up the middle. When you see the defensive guys who push the quarterback up, and then you got to go one way or the other. You can have a guy on the edge, but then they can sort of, fend you off. When the defensive player's coming right at you and you're the quarterback, that makes you think a whole lot more than that guy coming off the side because you can step up in the pocket. When you got the guy who comes up the middle, because I never looked at Aaron Donald's sack totals or even Jalen Carter. He didn't have a sack, I don't think. Doesn't matter. He took 2 guys every single play. great. You know, it's like Haloti Nada, like those guys who were just there, and you got to deal with them. And Jalen Carter, he was wonderful. In fact, at one point during the regular season, I said he might be their most valuable player, which sounds crazy with what Saquon did, and then Jalen Hurts as well. But when you have that guy and nobody else has a guy like that, I don't think there's any other team that has a guy like Jalen Carter. His age, that ability, able to disrupt, got him on a rookie contract. Man, going to be formidable.